One topic that's been in the news a lot lately is whether the government should be able to step in, or law enforcement should be able to step in and take guns away from people that have been diagnosed as having PTSD or depression or other types of mental illness, but specifically depression and PTSD. This has become relevant nowadays while the VA has tried to make it to where they can step in and take guns away from soldiers with PTSD that have returned to the country, where some states like Washington and Oregon, especially in Oregon, where they've got a bill right now stating that if you're a family member of someone that you suspect has PTSD or depression or might be a risk of harming themselves, you can go to local law enforcement, and just based on your testimony alone, they can go in and claim those people's firearms. Well, a lot of people have asked me what I think about this. And, it doesn't stop me from talking about something simply because I don't know anything about it. I am more than happy usually to talk in length about things I know nothing about. But this is one thing I do know something about, because most of you know, or at least a lot of you know, that I am a mental health professional. My degrees are in psychology, and I have worked as a mental health professional for many years. And so I can address this from the position of someone who understands the dangers of depression, of mental illness, of PTSD. These are serious things. And people shouldn't be like, it's not really a big deal. As long as they're strong, they'll get through it. That's garbage. You wouldn't say, they've got liver cancer, but if they're strong, they'll get through it. You would seek treatment for that. And you wouldn't look down upon them if they did seek treatment for that. And you definitely wouldn't remove their rights from them if they sought treatment for that. So I want to address this whole idea that just taking their guns away is a good step. It makes common sense, right? I mean, it makes sense, right? It's common sense. If you think someone is depressed and might harm themselves, you should take their gun rights away. Well, as a professional, I can say that's stupid. That's a ridiculous idea. Going in and taking away someone's rights is no way to treat someone that's depressed or has PTSD. You don't make those people feel better or make them seek treatment by making them seem more persecuted than they did already feel before, by making them seem more isolated or feel more isolated than they already did before, or be made to feel like they're less of a person now than they were before, than they already felt like they were before, by going in and taking their rights from them. You're making them feel attacked. That's not helping them at all. And just being able to go into a police station and say, I think they might kill themselves, and give the authorities the right to go in and seize their legal property, well, that is a system designed specifically to be abused by anybody. So I can't agree with that based on that principle alone. But as far as it being able to do something for someone who's depressed or has PTSD, it won't do anything. Because let's face it, if someone really wants to harm themselves, pretending like taking their guns away will stop them is ridiculous, because it won't. There's many ways to harm yourself or others if you want to. Just taking their guns away isn't going to do it. And the fact that you took their guns away and made them feel, like I said, more persecuted, more isolated, like less of a person, less of a citizen, is going to exasperate the problem. It isn't going to give them any help. This is just something people want to feel like they're doing something. Like, look what we did. We did something to help them. No, you didn't. You did something to hurt them. This is just anti-gunners pushing their agenda through under the guise of doing something right. And they're preying on some people that actually think that is a good idea, that they're actually doing something to help people, but they're not. This will do nothing to help anyone. This won't reduce any accounts of people harming themselves. There's no evidence to say that it would reduce it. It might even increase it. So it's a ridiculous idea. Here's an idea. If you have someone in your family or a friend that is suffering from PTSD or depression or any other form of mental illness, if they're not seeking help, then help them. Go to them. Don't go to the police and act like they're some sort of criminal. Go to them. Let them know you're there. You're not going to let them face this alone, and you're not going to let them harm themselves if you can do anything about it. If I knew a family member of mine was in danger of harming themselves with their own firearms, I'd try to convince them to let me hang on to them for a while for them and encourage them to get help. And if they wouldn't let me hang on to them, and I thought, well, if I leave them alone with them, they're going to harm themselves, I wouldn't leave them alone. If I had to make a family chart of everybody who's going to be with them for every minute of every day, I'd do that, because they're my family, they're my friends. That's actually doing something. So that would help. Let them know we're going to be here every minute of every day until you get through this, till you get the help you need, till you seek aid, and they should be able to feel like that they can get the help they need without being turned into a criminal. Like if they go to the doctor and say, man, I just really have to deal with these things, and the doctor goes, crazy, you don't get to have rights anymore. That's not going to encourage them to seek help. Knowing that they can go in, seek help, not be judged, they have the support of their family, and they're not being treated like a criminal during the process, that's what will really help them. So if you really want to help people, get involved in their lives, be part of their life, be part of the solution when it comes to helping them with their problems, be part of their treatment. Don't be someone else that just attacks them and takes the rights away from someone that's already feeling isolated and persecuted. So I think the notion is ridiculous from every aspect. It is a dangerous system that would be created that would allow the government to violate the rights of people without any types of prosecution whatsoever, much less a conviction. That's bad on its own. But as for the people themselves that are suffering from PTSD or depression, this will do nothing but make them feel like bigger victims than they already are, make them more depressed than they already are, make them more isolated than they already feel. This will do nothing positive for them at all. All this will do something positive for is people that don't really want to do anything but want to feel like they're doing something. So don't be one of those people. If you really want to help people with these issues, help them. Like I said, be part of their lives, help them seek the help they need, and don't make them criminals until they do.